Thank you for having us. I'm gonna show some projects. It's about, in short way, form, materiality, and the way of building on a sustainable way. Our mission statement, commitment is important for the start of our office because it leads to responsibility. It's an echo? No, it's okay? Okay. And yes, we are researching practice, which leads sometimes to innovation. And of course, for research and the designing process, intuition is important because it can lead to our signature. So maybe looking for 4 projects to present. It's like a PlayStation logo a bit. So quite unique, no? All 4 built on a hybrid way with the brick and wood, because we try to use the material on its honest and best way, because in Belgium, like, we don't have a lot of resources, but like brick we have, and we have a little bit of wood, and we have a little bit of steel, and a little bit of concrete, so we try to use them together on its best way. So we started, yes, in 2003, and yeah, the researching and the searching practice as we are known in Belgium. At the moment, with 20 people. First, I'm gonna show you some intro, like, of course, in history, like we are working like on an experimental. We use the individual house as an experimental process, like also the case study houses where we learned how you can show the material as it is, or like Alto showed us how we can integrate nature in our architecture, and yeah, experiment with brickwork. And like the not architect but autodidact Jean Prouvé was already looking for demountable houses, and the Belgian architect Julian Lampens inspired us in a brutalistic way more. His father was also a carpenter like mine. He worked in the sphere of geometry, really like building on a sculptural way, and stuck to his own principles. But we started small-scale renovations and always trying to work on a die-hard way, like, for instance, this one, just all reused. It was 15 years ago with a small budget, and like 90% of the materials were just already reused. Now it's a wonderful path at this moment. Wooden structures, not, in Belgium we are used to work in massive structures, but we started to build in wood and try to make all wooden buildings. Just die hard, just experimenting how can we do it on a bioecological way, which was not that evident in that time. It are all projects for 15 years ago. And we started to build new houses in wood. And at the moment, then the Trias Energetica comes in our way. So learned the way of passive building. And the Trias is more than only the energetic way, but we tried, it's a way of life at this moment. It's but the Trias thinking is like thinking another way, and it helps us to organize our thoughts about architecture. So we built one of the first passive houses in Belgium then, researching the skin of the building, insulate more. We thought, okay, we need solar gains from the south. We need a lot of thermal mass on the inside. So we did it like we we were taught to do. But then we experienced that we could do better. So it's not only about solar gains to the south, but it's, we learned how to build more, to use the things of the, what we learned about passive houses to rethink our architecture and work with the skin of the building, also with private, all the spatial things, the social things about privacy and how the sun comes into the building and goes out, and how the relationships are, and how architecture can regulate the all the feelings you have in a building. So, on a quick above intro, just working more compact, like a sphere, a ball. That's how we came to compact and rather geometrical forms, which are built on different ways within the structures, carried outer structures with passive, combining with wooden structures. So that's the intro for the 4 houses, which I'm going to fast present. The first one is the DNA house, like a Swiss cross. Built in brick, because we noticed first building, the first 100 passive houses were none of them in brick, except this one. Why? Because the way of building with the cavity wall system is not not logical anymore to build with more insulation. So it's a project where we first build the wall as a self-bearing structure, like an intelligent ruin, which has like a decor built in it. Then afterwards, first building the wall, then the roof, and then having the wooden structure into it. Very light one, because it doesn't need to have the wind forces and stuff like that. So showing the material as it is on the inside. Also retracting from the self-bearing wall from the outside, which can be later on filled in as an inner space with no cold bridges, separate from each other, external and internal structure. And having as much floors, like 3 levels, 2 levels, like having as compact as we could. So it became this one. And next one, Hehe house. It's like the same, like brick wall is strung with corners, or you can do it like this way by curved walls. So how you can build. It's also curved because we need to build away from the trees. That was also a thought about that, but we thought about a vase, like a self-bearing really structure. And then again, build an inside with steel and wood in it as a very adaptable structure. It seems difficult, but it's all about logical thinking. And building it with nice craftsmanship, having the air tightness on the outside of the inner wall, using different bricks through each other, and having a nice, massive building. Also very acoustic, interesting, because a rail in there is a big, it's very noisy. It seems quiet, but it's very noisy in the neighborhood. Some atmosphere. So Next one is a triangular one, because the first two was with your reused brick, but it's the workload is a lot. So the only thing we do is minimize the outer wall in Belgium, but to reduce the ceramic material. But when you go from 2 walls to 1, you reduce even more. So we had an innovation in brickwork, just use the 2 walls together as a fast-making brick wall. But it wasn't there on the market, so we produced a new one. And we could convince 4 clients to produce the brick. So it's only used in these 4 houses. And I will present the one on top, triangular one. Just triangular because of the plot. Like in the context. So it's just because of the plot. It became a triangular one. In this, we first start to make the wooden structure and afterwards build the brickwork around it. And the triangular, it has 3 sides, so it's all shifting the structure always from side to side, having the stairs on the corners, so you have a walk through the building, and the collective spaces, ground floor to the left, second floor to the other side, and third one also to another one. So the sculptural stairs on the corner. And you see the changing of the logical way of doing the loads to different sizes to have light wooden structures in it. So it's always having views to another side of the context. And last one is a recent one, another brick, mixed 6 different bricks, textures. It became a hexagon because of compactness, allotment. The nice thing about this one is that we always try to do better, always build the other way, build another way, but first of all, then the wooden structure, and then we experiment with a hemp line, because we try to make as easy, to build as easy as we can. Einfach bauen. Why? Because we are now making large-scale projects, and then the simplicity of building becomes more and more important. So it's really like, we think we can influence the circular way of building in that way, also in large scale. So it's a project which is on the street, like 2 levels, at the back 3 levels. Interior, wooden interior, which gives a nice comfort. I really believe in not anymore in massivity on the inside, but the massivity on the outside, the thermal mass, and the wooden structures with a lot of insulation on the inside, because climate is changing. So at least we now have another brick just standing, a house which I will not present because of time, but we just use the experimental production now to make more sustainable, to build more on a more sustainable way, also on the large scale. We really not only in brick, but we try to do it on different ways, like the co-housing project in wood. So, thank you.